A third story out front, was it a sex game gone horribly wrong? That's what Italy's Supreme Court wants to find out. Today, the court explained its reasoning to retry Amanda Knox and her former boyfriend with the 2007 murder of her British roommate Meredith Kirscher. Knox was acquitted by an appeals court in 2011, but the High Court in Italy overturned that ruling and said the jury didn't consider all the evidence, including an initial theory from the prosecution that Kirscher was killed during a twisted sex game. Now, a new trial could start as early as this fall, and obviously going ahead with this retrial is bad news for Amanda Knox's camp. Out front tonight, our legal analyst and criminal defense attorney, Paul Callan. And this is bad news. Obviously, they were hoping to try to avoid any sort of a retrial here.
Yeah, this is very bad news. I mean, they've seen it coming, but this is a 74-page opinion that really ripped apart the appellate court, which ordered her acquittal. So Knox, fans are very, very upset at this point.
All right, so explain what happened here. They're saying originally the prosecution had this theory of a sex game gone wrong that then was not pursued and was not part of the case, was not part of the ultimate appellate acquittal. So why did they abandon this theory? And is it now going to become completely the center of everything?
Well, explaining the Italian court system is no easy task, but
right.
She's been tried twice. At the first trial, the prosecutor starts out by saying this was a sex game gone wrong. That's the motive for the killing. That went so badly during the trial that by the end of it, they abandoned it. And they came up with this sort of lame motive that it was just a couple of roommates who hated each other. You know, Amanda didn't do the dishes and wasn't cleaning up the apartment.
Right.
And so the motive kind of disappeared. So when the appellate court then came in and took a second look at the case, they had real problems with the motive issue. So now enter the Supreme Court, the highest court. They say, there was strong motive evidence here, and you should have considered that.
All right, so it's unlikely she's going to return to testify. She's in the U.S. Why would she do that? But if she's convicted at a third trial of this murder, will the U.S. extradite her to serve her time in prison in Italy?
I think that's a fascinating question, and a lot of people say, oh, the U.S. will never send her back. But bear in mind, if a hitman for the mob flees to Italy and the U.S. says, we want him back,
then they'll say no because you didn't give us Amanda.
Right. You say, we have a kangaroo court system, and what do? You have a special rule for nice-looking girls from Seattle. They don't get extradited to the United States when 3 levels of courts in Italy have found them guilty. It's going to be a tough argument for the U.S., and I frankly don't know how it's going to turn out. It'll be more politics than law in the end.
Wow.